Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In Islam, black magic is considered to be a sin and is strictly prohibited. It is also known as sihr or jadoo in Arabic. Black magic is considered to be an act of disbelief in Allah, as it involves seeking the help of evil spirits and demons instead of relying on Allah's guidance and protection. Islam teaches that seeking the help of jinns or using spells and potions to harm others is a grave sin and is punishable in the hereafter. Muslims are advised to seek refuge in Allah and to recite verses from the Quran to protect themselves from the influence of black magic. There are also many authentic hadiths, narrations, from the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, that warn against the dangers of black magic and advise Muslims to seek protection from it. In addition, Islamic scholars have written extensively about the topic of black magic and its effects on individuals and society. It is important to note that in Islam, seeking help through legitimate means such as prayer, charity, and seeking the advice of trusted scholars is always encouraged over turning to black magic or any other unethical means. In addition to what I mentioned earlier, it's important to understand that black magic is not something that is exclusive to Islam. Many cultures and religions have their own beliefs and practices related to magic and sorcery. In Islam, black magic is believed to be a tool used by Satan and his followers to lead people astray from the path of Allah. The Quran teaches that the power of magic is limited and ultimately powerless against the will of Allah. Muslims are advised to seek refuge in Allah and to recite the Quran and other prayers for protection against the harmful effects of black magic. It's also important to note that seeking the help of a qualified Islamic scholar or healer may be necessary in some cases where one believes they are under the influence of black magic. However, it's crucial to understand that not all cases of illness, misfortune, or hardship can be attributed to black magic. In Islam, it is believed that everything that happens is ultimately the will of Allah, and Muslims are encouraged to have patience and faith in Allah's plan, even in the face of adversity. In conclusion, black magic is considered a serious sin in Islam, and Muslims are advised to seek refuge in Allah and to avoid any involvement in such practices. It's essential to remember that Islam teaches the importance of relying on Allah's guidance and protection and seeking legitimate means of help and support rather than turning to unethical or harmful practices. Another important aspect to understand about black magic in Islam is that it is often associated with envy or jealousy. Envy is considered a grave sin in Islam and is believed to be the root cause of many problems that people face, including the use of black magic to harm others. Muslims are encouraged to avoid envy and to be content with what Allah has given them. This includes avoiding the desire to harm others through the use of black magic or any other means. It's also important to note that there is a difference between black magic and legitimate forms of Islamic spirituality, such as Ruqyah. Ruqyah is the recitation of Quranic verses and prayers for the purpose of healing and protection. It is a legitimate practice in Islam and is often used to treat illnesses or to protect oneself from harm. However, it's essential to seek the guidance of qualified Islamic scholars or healers who follow the proper Islamic teachings and practices when seeking Ruqyah. This is to ensure that the practices used are in line with Islamic beliefs and teachings and do not involve any harmful or unethical practices. In conclusion, Islam strictly prohibits the use of black magic and considers it a serious sin. Muslims are advised to seek refuge in Allah and to avoid envy and jealousy, which can lead to the use of black magic to harm others. Legitimate forms of Islamic spirituality, such as Ruqyah, can be used for healing and protection, but must be practiced in accordance with Islamic teachings and under the guidance of qualified Islamic scholars or healers. Assalamu alaikum. Thanks for watching. Share with those who don't know.